name's Connor McIntosh. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me Condor. You can call me Macindouche. I don't really give a shit. My middle name's Mikhailovich, so you can call me McPileovich if you want. I've been called that plenty of times. But I just thought I'd take some time to make this video. There will probably be more depending on the reception of this one. Basically, I want to talk about time right now. I came up with this kind of almost philosophy on how I think time works a few months ago. I was tripping on an eighth of shrooms and was just meditating there for about 10 hours, and it kind of hit me, this big philosophy that'll take me probably about 15 minutes to talk about. But my fucking hair's in my eyes. Time. People say a lot that your time is very valuable. You only have a certain amount of time here, and it's your only time here. No, I believe that much if you take out the valuable part. I don't think that life or time is really that valuable if you're focused on the time that you have. If you're focused on the inevitable part of life, which is dying. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think that life is valuable, but it's only valuable if you make it valuable. You know, think of money, for example. A piece of paper, you see a blank piece of paper, dirty napkin. Yeah, dirty napkin, look at that. You know, it's a piece of paper. It's dirty, doesn't mean anything. If I had $1 on me, I'd show you a dirty dollar. But it would also be a dirty piece of paper. And most likely would have been in the butt pocket of thousands of people by now. But it's valued. It's all about perception. Just like time in life. You use your life wisely, and you would have gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. You spend it foolishly and you die with shame and guilt. Guilt that you would have used your time better had you know you would have felt that way. Now, time itself, to me, isn't really real. It's kind of an illusion. It's kind of inconsistent. There are two types of time that I've observed. There's the continuous time that has been measured, like on a clock, on a calendar, what have you, by the movement of the planets and the stars and the sun and the moon and blah 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 space. And then there is personal time. Personal time is the amount of time it takes for you to experience something, to get something through your head, to think about something. It takes time. It takes a different amount of time for certain people to heal than it does other certain people. It's all about personal perception when it comes to time, when it's not the physical progression of time. I want to start with the physical perception of time first. people think of what's going to happen in the future. They're planning for the future. Now, personally, I think that's completely pointless because the future hasn't even happened yet. And then you have the people who dwell on the past. They're like, oh, we have to learn from our mistakes. Well, we didn't make mistakes way back in the 1700s. Those were our ancestors' mistakes. It has nothing to do with us. Now, we can learn from those mistakes that they made so we don't repeat them, but personally, I think they had it better off than we do today. We have technology and we have luxuries, but are they really luxuries, or are they pulling us back as a species? Are they making us weaker? I mean, there was a time when people were able to go out there and cut down a tree in the middle of winter, and now people don't even want to leave their houses, and if they do, they don't want to walk more than 5 feet to their car. And then they complain how cold it is when it takes 30 seconds longer than usual for their car to heat up after they turn it on. You know, it's sad. Now, the part of time that we really need to be focusing on, intently at the very least, I mean, we focus on the past to learn from other people's mistakes in order to basically gain their wisdom, and you also focus on the past to learn more about what's going on now, because there's, you know, fossils and carbon dating and all that wonderful stuff that's going on. You know, people are able to find out what happened billions of years ago, and that's awesome. You know, there's all that stuff that you can focus on the past for, and, you know, it's not going to be detrimental to you at all. I mean, it's not really bad. And then you've got your future thinkers. You know, you focus on the future, you make goals. Goals are healthy. You have something to work on right now so that you can have a certain effect right beyond right now. And that brings me to the part of time that needs the most attention, which is right now, the present. Time is always progressing. There's no such thing as the future. The future is something that we made up, because the future is always now. Because as you're thinking of the future, the past is happening. The only true part of time that you can really experience is now. Because 5 minutes ago, well, it was now 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes from now, well, now it's already happening, so why even think about 5 minutes from now when that 5 minutes is going on? You know, focus on what you're doing for that 5 minutes and then see how that 5 minutes from now looks. Because it'll be a minute ago. Basically, I think people should make goals but not dwell on them. Because one of the things that I truly believe is that the only way to really appreciate and experience life is experiencing and appreciating it. And it doesn't mean trying to make it better so that other people can experience it. I mean, make it better as we're experiencing it. Do things in your own power to make your situation and other people around you's situations better. That way everybody can enjoy their time here, because this really is our only time. And you know, it's really strange to look at it that way, but I've found that ever since I've been thinking in the way of present time, I feel like I've enjoyed my life better. You know, I was just homeless. I was just living in my car, and it was cold, really cold. And I was living off of a McChicken a day, maybe two. And there were special occasions where I got enough money to do something, and yes, I'm not gonna lie, I spent it on mushrooms. But it's because I needed to meditate, and it was kind of hard to meditate when I was focusing on not dying from the cold that I was experiencing. I just needed to figure things out. And I did. I figured a lot of things out. Look at me now. I'm indoors. Got clean clothes. Living in my grandparents' house right now. And pretty soon here, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be living in my own place for the very first time. I'm 20 years old. And I still feel like I have all the time in the world. Even though I've experienced all that, I mean, it's not the worst by any means. There are people dying out there for no reason. But I've experienced some really, really terrible situations. And I still found a way to enjoy them. I was thinking about the moment. Not in the moment as in, let's party, because that's not why I ate those mushrooms. I didn't want to party. I wasn't in the mood to party. I needed to find answers. I felt like I could do it through that specific form. And I did. Now I have a different way of thinking. And it's helped me out. And I think I've beaten that dead horse enough. Let's move on to the non-physical form of time, the non-measured time, time in our heads. Let's say you're looking at a clock and you're in a classroom and you're really bored, you want to go home, it's the last hour of the day, and you're looking at that clock and 1 minute passes into the period. That 1 minute felt like a million years. It's just the longest minute of your life. And you're like, if I keep staring at this clock, this is going to be the longest 45 minutes of my entire life. And so instead of focusing on the time, because that's all it is it's focus. Whatever you're focusing on, you're going to catch every single second of it. So you focus on something else, maybe reading a book, maybe playing a little video game on your phone, who knows. But you take your mind off of the time and you focus on something else. Well, that something else is going to take priority over your time. So your time will go faster. It's not really going faster, obviously. I mean, the measurement of time is very consistent. It's not perfect, but it's consistent. And obviously it's not going any faster or slower, but it seems like it is. That is just the movement of mind in your head. And once you realize that you have, once you've realized this pattern where the time that you're experiencing on the inside differentiates and is inconsistent to your surroundings and what you're actually focusing on and what you're actually experiencing, then you gain the wisdom to be able to kind of control it, not literally controlling it like freeze time like in Dragon Ball Z. No, not like that. It's more along the lines of shifting your focus, because if if you really, really, really want to get down to it, from my point of view, time is focus. That's all it is. You focus on something hard enough, and you're going to experience more. It's kind of hard to explain all of this. It's been a while since I actually explained this to people. Most of the time I'm typing it to other people on like websites and forums. Stuff just talking to people. A lot of these people's minds were just completely blown, so I don't know if I blew anybody's mind today. But it's pretty much what it comes down to. You have your physical time and you have your I don't know, your focus. But that's all I have to say right now. I'd appreciate it if you liked the video below, just commented, and comment whatever you want. You can tell me that you hated it, you can tell me that you loved it, you can tell me what you think. I'll appreciate it all. And if you're gonna threaten me, at least make it funny and worthwhile, because I find it funny when people threaten me or hate on me. So I'll probably be copying and pasting it onto Facebook to show other people what you said about me, especially if it's funny, because I enjoy that kind of stuff, and people call me crazy. I don't really give a shit. I'm crazy. I've earned that title, and I'm proud of it. But yeah, just subscribe. Hell, subscribe, please. Feel free. Just do whatever you want. Yeah, there is one thing that I'm gonna request. Don't say you're gonna go after my family or anything like that. That's stupid. You don't know me. You don't know my family. And if you do know my family, just stay away from them, because you don't want to mess with my family. We're a bunch of savages. I mean, my mom, I'm 6 foot, almost 6'3", probably stopped growing at this point. I'm 20 years old, but my mom was able to pin me on the ground, and she's like 5'5" or 6, and she was able to pin me on the ground face first on a wooden floor. So yeah, just putting it out there. If you're gonna threaten me, threaten me. Don't threaten other people to scare me or anything, because all I'll do is just be like, so what, you know? Sorry if I'm a little lethargic right now. I'm kind of tired. I'm probably gonna go to bed right after this. I promise my next video will be a little bit more, awake and exciting, but this is my first video. I'm not even used to doing this kind of stuff. I feel like I'm kind of used to it now, but I'm kind of shy, especially about my thoughts. But thought I'd share my point of view on time. The next video shall be, I think I'm going to do doors next, so stay tuned for doors. I think you're going to like that. It's a metaphor, so don't take it seriously. I'm giving you a heads up. I don't even take this seriously. It's not real life. It's just a metaphor that I made up to give a cooler point of view on how to look at a door, you know. But peace out, guys. We have a pretty cool time thinking about time.